I've known this for a long time, but I think everybody else is just now starting to get hip to it. All these models and these baddies, Instagram baddies, even before Instagram, always out on vacation, always out at parties, popping bottles. And now look, the Diddy case comes out. I'm not saying all of them is like that, but I'm going to say 99% of them are like that. I remember when I was modeling, there was a certain...
Whoa. 99% means all of them, right? I mean, that 1% that's actually there is probably not there. But what does she actually mean by model and baddies? Comment your thoughts under this video. Now, we're definitely going to go ahead and finish this video clip because I have a feeling that we're about to learn something new or something extremely obvious. Either way, this is an important conversation for us to have, so let's get into it. But remember, like the video, then subscribe to the channel because I'm posting daily content. My name is Bertrand. I am the coolest dude on the planet, and I'm your friend. Confidence and clarity is the goal, so here we go.
I've known this for a long time, but I think everybody else is just now starting to get hip to it. All these models and these baddies, Instagram baddies, even before Instagram, always out on vacation, always out at parties, popping bottles. And now look, the Diddy case comes out. I'm not saying all of them is like that, but I'm going to say 99% of them are like that.
I took the easy way out, which was, okay, what's the next? Because there's always going to be, you know, dicks. You feel?
I remember when I was modeling, there was a certain white girl who used to be around, and she was pretty, but her nose was always in the air, bro. And she's from Chicago. She's from the suburbs, like Rockford or some shit. But she's a really pretty girl. She was cool, but her nose she would be kind of cocky. And then she got cockier and cockier as time went on. Next thing you know, I ended up seeing Shorty out a couple times. We speak or whatnot, but like online, she didn't know who the I was. We followed each other, so we're mutual, just to have her a high account, following count. And she followed me back, but like online, if I were to comment something, she wouldn't comment back to my but other people, she would. Cool.
Now, what she's talking about is the social media world where people are pretending to be friends, right? Like, these are people you associate with. Now, the reason why this woman wasn't really responding to her is because it didn't benefit her. Right? Like the women who are doing this, like they're in certain circles, which means they get certain access to certain guys. Anyway, let's continue because we're also talking about parties too, like access. Anyway, here we go.
At the end of the day, online, I would see her always in like Turks and Caicos or, the Maldives or something. She's like, I remember I ran into her in person and I was like, damn girl, are you even in the country? She's like, oh, I'm here for 2 weeks and I fly back out on vacation. Whole time I found out she was doing 304 work. She was an escort. Which ain't nothing wrong with that, but you're not a model. This is why I have an issue with...
Wait a minute. Listen, I know that it's a new day and time, but this was shameful. This was a secret. This was not something that was out in the open. Like it was out in the open, but it was secret. Like you didn't go out talking about this is what you did and that there's nothing wrong with it. Even the women who were strippers, like they still tried to find a way to hide it. This was nothing to ever be proud of. But in today's time, it's a little bit different because of social media, which this is going to be a great discussion. Let's continue.
When they be like, you should model. And I be like, I don't want to sleep with some creepy dude to get put on. Because she was in a couple little magazines, not like Vogue or nothing like that, but I'm not knocking what she did. She was in a couple little magazines and whatnot, but what she really was doing was busting it open. And then she was bringing her friend along too, of course. And they probably both was busting it open to get put on or to get a vacation or whatever. So when people be like, oh my God, you're so pretty, you should model. That's the reason why I be like, no. I don't want to sleep with nobody to get put on or for a vacation or for bills or rent. I don't. No. But yeah, baby, don't let these out here fool you. Don't think that, oh, I'm pretty, I could get put on. No, you going to get touched on. You going to get touched on. If you want to get touched on, you can get put on. But that's just how Hollywood is.
Wait a minute. Is she talking about the things that go on in Hollywood, or is she actually talking about the social media world? Those are two different worlds. Let me explain to you guys, because I was in the industry. Of course, I didn't make it big, but let me tell you that there's a complete difference in what she's saying. First, let me go ahead and lay this out for you guys. I was an actor, I was a model, I was a dancer, okay? Now, when I say dancing, I mean I was dancing in music videos, auditioning, right? Now, in order to be a model or actor or actress or a dancer, right, you had to have agent, manager, and a publicist. These women that she's talking about, they don't have any of that. Now, the actors, or let me just say the entertainment lifestyle, is the hardest one to live. Photo shoots, which means these are your headshots. This is what you're using to advertise yourself for people who are looking to pay you. Then once they pull up all these different profiles of all these different actors or agents or I'm sorry, not agents. Let's just call them entertainers, right? I'm constantly trying to line that out. What I'm saying to you is this. The lifestyle of a person who's doing it legally is completely different from the woman who's doing it illegally, okay? Now, again, I'm saying this was shameful. This is why I keep saying, hey, fellas, it's time to adapt. Times have changed. The rules have changed. Things that were acceptable now, things that are acceptable now were not acceptable back then. Again, being an escort, being a stripper, being a woman on the street, a prostitute, these things were super negative and you were looked down upon. And when I say looked down upon, I mean they looked at you like you were a walking bag of diseases. Literally, like you didn't have like this like freedom to be and express who you are. If you did that in the privacy of your own home or the privacy of your clients. I've told this story a few times. The first time that I was introduced to women who are selling themselves was way back when I was about 23. I'm almost 40 now. So we're talking about almost 17 years ago. There was a woman that I was talking to, dating, whatever, right? We met on set. We went on the set of a TV show. I'm not gonna tell you guys which one it was, but my point is this, right? We did what we did that night, right? We did grown-up things. I put her through the mattress all night and all morning. That morning, she said, you know what? I need $5,000. I looked at her like, what? Do you know how much we just made? We only made about what, $200-300 for the day. So like 5,000, where you gonna get 5,000 from? She was like, shh, wait, hold on, watch this. She called up a doctor and she said, hey, she didn't say it like this. I'm just giving it to you guys like this. I need $5,000 or I'm gonna tell your wife that you're having an affair. The money was sent. So after I seen that, right, I didn't judge her for it. But what I did was I start to look at women a little bit different and say, oh, wait a minute. Okay. When a woman wears this, when a woman does that, when a woman acts like this, when a woman talks like that, when she moves like this means she's a woman that's selling herself. Why am I telling you guys this? Because back then, it was not acceptable. It was not acceptable for you to live that kind of lifestyle. I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but what I'm saying is it was not acceptable. Now, again, just talking about the entertainment aspect, meaning you had to go on auditions, you had to book the gig, and then you had to wait for the check to actually come. Now, if you're doing runway work versus print work, right? Again, remember, I was a model. I'm 6'3", okay? So I kind of, I was in that industry for a while, but certain things I got out of because it just wasn't for me. Let me just say that, right? Because again, we live in a different time where things are way more acceptable than they were back then. Waiting for those checks to come, especially modeling gigs, oh my God, like that was it was anywhere from a month to 3 months for you to receive one check from a modeling gig. Now, if you did movies, TV shows, commercials, things like that, it depended on the payroll company. So some of those companies, if it was a TV show, would be a week or two. Some movies, same thing, a week or two. Commercials, sometimes it was 2 weeks to a month to receive one check for one gig. The reason I'm bringing this up is because it's completely different from the Instagram baddies that she's talking about. These women are literally selling themselves. These women are not models, like she said.
I had a guy tell me, I want you to come Dubai and I want you to shit on me. Like mad crazy stuff. And then we offer me a bag, like 50s, 100K.
So girls is really getting
What? Or if they're modeling their box. When I see women who are showing their box and they're working out or they're pretending to work out, right? Before I was an actor, I was an athlete. Okay. Again, that was way back in the day. I'm saying that to say this. You can see when a woman is doing exercises that would not get her physique to look a certain way, meaning she cheated, meaning she got under the table, under the knife, and she got some things put in certain places. She got carved up. I'm saying that because as men, we can see that she has mismatched body parts, meaning if you have a six-pack, your entire body is going to be shredded because the abs are the hardest things to get. And most people don't really work on the abs. They work on the arms, the legs, the back, whatever the case may be. But again, I'm saying this because there's a difference. Now, let's just be open and honest. We as men know this because vacations, like we know that women who are receiving all these different expensive gifts, going on these expensive trips, used to these expensive dinners, we as men know what these women are doing. They're advertising themselves. They're selling themselves. This is why you get to see the entire crack. Right. And this is why the woman will shoot the video the way she's shooting it, where you can see her entire box, the shape of it, the moose knuckle, the entire thing. We as men know this. This is why relationships are going down.
I shouldn't have to ask for his permission. I shouldn't ask for his permission.
No thing on, just titties out.
Mine not saying my titties out.
He's
saying if I wear a bra.
Down. This is why I say we are living in the generation that is trying to end humanity. This is why I'm saying that, because men are not going to accept this woman committing to this woman and then her still advertising herself for other men. We see that rich men are not doing it, and we see that everyday average men and broke men are not okay with that. Meaning, if I got you and you talking about I'm cheating, what do you think that is? In fact, we know what that is because we understand that every man doesn't have the same morals. And we also understand the majority of men don't have the same amount of income. So the men who have the income, they're going to live life the way that they see fit. This is not different. Now, when she's talking about women in the industry or women that's dealing with men in the industry, yes, those men have access to things. Women always want men that have access to things. This is why I keep saying, fellas, adapt. Catch up to where those guys are. Figure out how to make some money and get there. Figure out how to get your body right, get your mind right, get your finances together. Credit will help you. Credit is a tool that you can use if you're responsible, right? Learning the stock market, it can help you if you're responsible. Right? Like there's different avenues and things that you can do. But again, just talking about vacations and parties and VIP sections, we as men understand how expensive it is. So for a woman to constantly be doing this, we understand that she's selling herself. Now, the reason I'm addressing this is because a woman is coming out and saying it. So it sounds different, right? When a man is saying it, he sounds like he's hating on the woman. He sounds like he's mad that he can't get her, right? And it's true, he can't get her because she's selling herself. Now, the issue is the majority of women are now selling themselves. So the whole model thing is just a cover word. Remember, I always ask you guys, do women tell you the truth or do women tell you how they feel? If you listen to a woman, you're going to hear her constantly say, I feel. So that doesn't mean she's telling you the truth. Sometimes she is, most of the time she's not. Again, she's just telling you how she feels. If there's a group of baddies that are on vacation or they have a VIP section, you know one of two things are true. One, it's either a free table or there was a promoter there was a guy, because the promoter is the one who gave them the free table. There was a guy who actually bought the table for him. The other thing that we all notice is that why are you taking pictures by yourself. We know that you can't afford that, because what is it that you're doing to make money to where you're on vacation? And why are you on vacation so much? What is it that you need a vacation from? Men know this. Men have already asked these questions, but again, it sounds different when you actually hear a woman say it. Again, the majority of us already know it. That's why girls' nights out, girls' trips. If that woman is doing that, she's out.
What you come to Miami for? This is why you come to Miami? Stop. This is why you come to Miami. That is a towel boy. Stop. What? You think I'm still acting so they tatted on me?
You are not to stay with that woman, because it is not what you think it is. She is not doing whatever she's telling you that she's doing. This is why we also say birds of a feather flock together. If that woman is selling herself, she's going to surround herself with other women that sell themselves, because this is how they get more access. This is how they get more clout. Some women work in groups. They work as a team, because they realize if you're a baddie and I'm a baddie, we can both get in, but if we're friends, we can really get in. And then we really have access to the guy. Because men understand how much things cost, and this is why I make it a point to say the majority of us are broke, and the majority of women are sharing, right? They're constantly with the same guys, because there's only a certain amount of guy who can afford to be on these different vacations. Now, when you add in the scammers, plus the entertainers, plus the businessmen, now it seems like the pool is a little bit bigger, because they're doing business trips or they're going on business trips. But like I said, there's still only a small group of men that are able to do this. Here on my channel, I'm not hating on the women. I'm not hating on the men. Here on this channel, I'm telling you to adapt to this, because it's not going to change. It's actually getting worse. I'll say this again. This is the generation that is trying to end humanity. People don't want to be in relationships. Women don't want to have children. When children are had, they're had on accident. So with all this being said, I got a question for you. What do you think? Comment under this video. Remember, when you are watching these videos, you are becoming the best version of yourself. Now that this video is done, do me a huge favor. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.